So a very good evening to all of you. This is Yogen from Fast Coding School. So as usual, guys, can you please confirm if you can hear me? So that we can start. Okay, now I can get a lot of responses through yes option. Okay, and a couple of people responding back in the chat window. Thank you, Sumant. Okay, so guys, welcome again and welcome to second day, and that is day 2 on Python programming for aspiring data scientist. And as of now, we have successfully completed the first 2 days. The first day, that is called as day 0, was the orientation session. And day 1 was actually start of the teaching process and learning process. And yesterday we had couple of topics that were covered, that were discussed, and we had a very small coding challenge or coding assignments on that part. And that is optional actually. If you want to do the assignments, you can do it, you can upload them, and that's up to you that how you want to take it. But if you practice, I think you will have more learning. That is the concept. So guys, to start with for today's session, before I start on that, I want to take a input from you guys, that can you quickly give me a chat response that what was your learning from yesterday, what topics we covered yesterday, right? What is your understanding about them? So someone saying data types was there, someone saying a string was there, someone saying how to take input, data types, string methods were there, indexing was there, str input was there. Okay, slicing, indexing is also called as slicing. That was there. Importing a math library was there. Shravani Adari saying basic programming in Python. Someone saying a split and join, method was used. Use of dir method, right? Negative indexing or reverse indexing was also, used. Nivedita saying data types, string methods, getting input from user, playing with the indexes, that is there. Yeah. So we started our session, by importing the math library, if you remember, guys. Okay. So and if you remember, guys, how we can import a math library, guys. Now you should be comfortable that we can import math. So this is how you import a math library, and I select it and press Shift Enter, and this is imported now. And now I can use functions like math dot sqrt, for example. So you can use any function from math library using dot using dot, and then you can pass on certain value that you want to calculate the square root of 18. So that was there. So that was just starting a point. Now, guys, thanks for a response, guys. Thank you for that. I'm happy to see a lot of responses. Yes, Akhila, single line commenting and multi-line commenting was also there, right? Single line commenting was also there. And we were also able to understand that you can call dir method, right? If you want to know what are the functions in math library, right? or what are the functions in str, that is strings. So what functions you can go with. And guys, if you remember from yesterday's discussion, we put a lot of focus on understanding this concept that strings are read-only. Once initialized, you cannot change them. And those objects which are read-only, right? Those objects which are read-only are called as immutable in Python, right? So that is there. And I also talked about data types: what is integer, what is float, what is a string, what is boolean, what is a none type. So we had a discussion around that. And if you want a help on a specific function, you can call help, right? And how to call help? Now you need to pass like a function name, and how you can do this: math dot, and then maybe you are interested in finding out what is POW, that is power. So you will get to know that what is the basic documentation. We'll understand that what the function is doing and how you can call it. So that was yesterday's story, guys. Today, what we are going to learn new. So guys, today we have two concepts or two topics to discuss, right? And those topics are very interesting and used in almost every programming language, right? Used almost in every programming language. And the first concept is known as control flow. That concept is known as control flow. In this concept, we will understand about how to use if, how to use else, how to use elif. That is there, guys, right? And now, after learning this concept, basically I will mix both of these concepts. The second concept that we are going to understand today is looping, right? So when you repeatedly execute some statement or set of statements, right, that concept is basically called as looping. And we are going to understand that, how the while loop is used and how the for loop is used. And basically when we say for loop in Python, this is called as basically for each loop. So we are going to discuss, two concepts, while and for each. So, so these are the two concepts. I will also let you know that where you can use while and where you can use for, right? So, you are well aware about while loop and for loop because, they also come in C programming or C++ or Java if you have any background, right, in that. Now, guys, let's start for today. And I'm assuming that everybody of you is ready to start now. And, you'll put a complete focus on the learning part now, guys. So let's start. See, guys, I'm going to declare a variable. So how we can declare a variable in Python, that is known to us now. So I'm taking a variable name marks, right? And I'm assigning some initial value to it. So let's say I assign a value 30 to it. Guys, can you let me know that what is the data type of variable marks now? What would be the data type? Obviously, it would be integer, because in Python, what we understand, we do not specify the data type explicitly, right? We do not write anything, like integer or float. It all depends that what value you are assigning to the variable, right? And I'm going to declare a variable with the name marks, and initial value is 13. And now I can call the type method as well, which will let me know that what is the data type if I'm not aware. So it gives me int. So it's an integer value, okay? Now, guys, see what I'm doing. I'm going to use a control flow mechanism. And what we'll do in that? In that control flow mechanism, I want to give a message to user that based on the marks, right? Based on the marks, my Python program should give me a message to the user whether he is fail or he is pass, or C is fail or C is pass, right? And based on what? Based on the marks. As of now, marks are 30. So this is kind of a hard-coded value. That means I have already fixed the value to 30, but later on we will change it to some other value as well. So how to, take a decision that whether I should print pass or whether I should print fail. And for that purpose, what we use? Control flow. And how to, write control flow in Python? To start with, first we have to use a keyword called if. Okay. After writing this, in the parentheses, we need to check whether the marks are greater than 33 or less than. So how we can write that condition? We can write this condition like this. We have a variable with the names marks. And now I'm saying, are marks greater than or equal to 33, right? Are marks greater than or equal to 33? If that is so, that yes, marks are greater than or equal to 33, then what I'm going to do, I'm going to give a message to the user that he is passed. So guys, I have used if keyword, then I have used the condition, and now after that I'm going to say colon. After the colon, I'm going to hit enter. So I'm pressing the enter button. And now guys, you can see that while pressing the enter button, my cursor is moved a little forward, right? It is not just behind, behind I. It is just, moved, right? This is called as indentation. So the indentation of my cursor has changed. You can see from the blinking location now. This is the indentation location, new location. And now here I can write the message. What message I need to write? Because this condition is true. If this condition is true, what I need to write? I need to write that the guy is pass. So what I will say? Pass. And you can see guys what I'm writing. I'm writing a string, and that's why I'm using a double quote here. I can use single quote as well. Don't worry, because now you know that double quote and single quote, right? It's same in Python. So we can do this. So this is guys if. And now see, if this condition is true, can we check the condition? Yes, we can check the condition. So, we are going to check this condition of the console, guys. Marks greater than or equal to 33. You will see, guys, that as of now, this condition is false. Why this condition is false? Because marks are 30. And obviously, 30 is not greater than 33. And that's why this condition is false. And if this condition is false, we have to print another message. We cannot print this pass. So where we can print the another message? Under the else. So guys, I'm going to press the enter again. You can see my indentation is still there, right? What I need to do now, I can write one more print statement, right? I can write here, right? I can say congrats, for example, right? I can do that, congrats. But I need to use else, so I'm going to press enter again. You can see the indentation. So I now, enter back, a space button. So I press backspace, and when I press backspace, now indentation is coming to the normal position. Now I say else, and now after saying else, I use a colon. I press enter. I write the print statement. In this case, I say fail, right? So this is my message. So guys, the understanding should be very simple, that all depends on this condition. If this condition is true, we are going to execute these set of statements only. It can be one statement, it can be more than one statement. And if this condition is true, this will never be executed. It will never be executed, right? But if the condition is false, right, then this block is not going to get executed. We will only see the execution under else part. So guys, let's see what is happening in this case. What happens? So I'm going to select this piece of code, and going to run it. And how to run it? Pressing shift enter, and now you can see my code is getting executed. And now you see, guys, I get a fail here. Why I'm getting a fail here? Because this condition is false. Why it is false? Because as of now, marks are 30. If I make it some other value, let's say I say marks are 40. In this case, what will happen, guys? In this case, this condition will become true. Which condition I'm talking about? Marks greater than equal to 33. So now you can see, guys, you can see this condition will become true now, right? And if this condition is true, that means these two statements will be executed, and this will not be executed. It will not be executed. So guys, let me run it again, this piece of code, and see we get a pass and count it. So this is a simple, if else mechanism. But as of now, guys, there is a scope of improvement here. What is the scope of improvement that we can make? Probably we can rewrite this code again. And in that rewriting, what we should do, we should take input from the user, guys. As of now, this is hard coded, directly assigning some specific values called as hard coding, we call as hard coding in industry. How I can take input from the user? So that, that is very simple. So what I do now, I will say that this is the version 1 of my code, and I will write a second version here. So I will write, guys, version 2. How I can write the version 2? I need to make some changes here. So what changes I need to make? So I'll just copy this, guys. So I just copy it here, right? And paste it there, guys. So I'm just going to paste it. See this. What changes I need to make? I just need to remove this hard coding. How I can remove this hard coding, guys? I can take input from the user. And yesterday we discussed about this part as well. So guys, I'm going to call the input method now, right? We are going to call the input method. We know how to use input method. So I can give a message that would be seen by the user. So what I can say enter the marks, guys, enter the marks. See this, okay? And now, guys, I'm just running this line where I will take input from the user and store that input in the marks variable. And now you can see, guys, on the console, it says enter the marks. We got the message, right? And now I say, let's say 50. See this, guys. Okay, guys, I have stored 50 in marks, but I need to check that, what is the data type. If you remember from yesterday's discussion, guys, what I told you, that input method will always give you a string. So can we check what is the type of marks? As of now, we can check it. So how we can check it, guys? We have this type method, and now see this, guys, it is telling me str. Or I can directly see on the console as well. Let me print the marks, guys. Can you see if I'm printing the marks? Can you see, guys, 50 is under single quote. And now you can clearly understand that user has given a value 50, but it is coming as a string. And now I can, only use this condition if marks are integer or float. I cannot have this comparison if marks is str. It will never work for me, right? So what I can do, guys, I need one more step here, that I need to convert my str to integer now. So how I can do that? That is very simple. And that process is basically called as typecasting in any programming language. That concept is known as typecasting. And what we are doing as of now, we are converting str to int. And how we can do that, guys? That is very simple. What we will do, as of now, marks are, str. Now I'm going there, right? And before marks, I'm going to say int, right? And that will convert my marks to integer, but I need to store them somewhere. So what I'm going to say, I'm going to use the same variable, and that will overwrite it, right? So earlier marks is str, but after execution of this statement, marks will become integer now. So guys, I'm going to run it. This is called as typecasting. So where we can convert integer to a float, float to an integer, str to an integer, integer to a str. A lot of conversion can happen in that way. And now, guys, let's run our type method, and that will tell us that what is the type. Can you guys see? It is integer now. And now I can exactly see, right, that now, guys, let me run it again and see what message we get. We got pass. Why pass? Because marks are what? Marks are 50. So guys, to make it clear again, I'm going to take it the full, version 2 code. I have, selected the entire version 2 code, and I'm going to run it. How to run it, guys? Shift enter. And now see, I get a message, enter the marks. This time I enter 45, let's say, right? This is, that's, guys, pass. Okay, I can run it again. Okay, yes, I can run it again, select it, again running it. This time, let's say I enter 25 marks or 24 marks, right? So now I get a message fail. So guys, right? So guys, don't get confused with the concept that that strings are immutable. Strings are still immutable. We are not changing the strings, right? We are just converting them to an integer, right? And overwriting the marks variable, right? That concept still applies, that strings are immutable. We just converted them. So we got a copy, right? We got a copy, and that copy was an integer value. Because what we did, we applied a typecasting, and that typecasting was int here, right? So that is there. Okay, guys, sometimes what happens, we can, improvise on this coding part. What we can do sometimes, guys, can you see, guys, that marks are equal to input this, right? And we are converting these marks to an integer here. So what I can do, I can actually replace this statement. So I can use this statement, guys, here. I'm just copying it, and I'm replacing marks here with this statement. So what is happening, guys? Now I have clubbed two statements together. First, it will take input, and at the same time, after taking the input, it will convert them to an integer. So sometimes people do not write two statements; they write everything in single statement, right? This kind of action is known as chaining, right? Why the chaining? Because first input will take place, and whatever the output comes from the input, that will go into the typecasting, and we will typecast it using int. So that is there. So we can directly run this piece of code as well. We don't need earlier input method, because now input method is all there, and we can say 34, and we get the masses. So guys, that was telling you that how we can have a control flow. That was the basic understanding that I earlier told you, that how we can have a hard-coded value and we can write a if-else statement. And now in the next version, we had a little improvisation where we took the input from the user, and finally we typecasted it to an integer value, because input always takes or always reads the data in str format only, right? That will always apply, no change into that. And after that typecasting, we again did a kind of a condition checking, whether it's a true or false, and based on the true and false, we were able to print pass and fail. So guys, is that concept clear to everybody? Is that concept clear? Okay, I can get a lot of responses now. Thank you, guys. Yeah. So guys, along with me, you have to put a lot of focus energy from your side as well, right? Then only it would be a fruitful activity for both of us. Now, guys, I'm moving a little ahead, right? And Aparna, this is the syntax. We have to use colon, guys, right? We have to use colon. This is a syntax. If we do not use colon, we will get a syntax error in Python code, right? So we have to use it. That is the requirement, from the Python side. Now, guys, I'm going to take one more example around control flow. Okay, and for that purpose, now, guys, what I do, I'm going to take, so guys, can you see this indentation concept should be clear to you now, that this is the space you have to, basically this is four spaces. One, you can see this, guys, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So these are the four spaces. This is known as indentation. Can you see, guys, now all of these print statements are having an indentation, and that will happen whenever you are using if else or other kind of control flow, or looping as well. That will be applied in the looping part as well, guys. So that is there, guys, right? So now, guys, let's see something new into this learning. Now we are going to add some new concepts here, guys. I'm going to write a third version of my code. right? I'm going to write a third version of my code. And what is that? In this case, what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to read the name of the user from input method. So using input method, what I will do, guys, I will read the name of the user. Okay. And now based on the length, guys, based on the string length or based on the length of the name, guys, right, I need to print some message. So what I have to do, guys, I'm going to use triple, quotes here so that I can explain the problem statement for you. So guys, the problem statement is that read the name, right? Read the name. And for that, we can use input method, obviously, right? And based on length, guys, based on length, print what you need to print based on the length. If that is greater than or equal to 10, so guys, if length of the string is greater than or equal to 10, what you need to print? You need to print a long. That is the message you need to print to the user, okay? If that string is less than 10, okay, and greater than or equal to 5, that means if the length is in the range of 5 to 9, then we are going to print another message, not long. We will print medium. That length is medium. And if the length is lower than 5, guys, if the length of the string, input string is less than 5, we are going to print short. So guys, is this problem statement clear to you that what we are going to achieve in our code? The problem statement is pretty much simple here, right? We need to take input from the user, need to check the length of the string, and then based on the length, right, we need to print long, medium, and short. So Vipin, what you need to do, you will understand this when I write the code. Don't worry about it, right? If it is not clear to you, I'll explain it as we write the code, right? So guys, as of now, first we need to read the name that is there. First we need to read the name. So for that purpose, what we can do, guys, we can use input method. So I'm going to write this statement where I will store the name in str1, that is the variable name. I'm going to call the input method, guys. And now within the input method, I say enter the name, please, right? So that is there. Enter the name. And guys, now I need to check the length, right? I need to check the length. So guys, how I can do that? Guys, do you know that we can, calculate the length of a string using len method, if you remember, right? So we have already a method where we can check the len method, right? And guys, if you remember, this was equivalent to strlen in your C programming, right? strlen in your C programming. So guys, what I need to do now, I'm going to say if, okay, if len str1, if the length of your string is greater than or equal to 10. This time, guys, I'm not using parentheses, but I can put them under the parentheses as well. No, So guys, this is my condition. That if this condition is true, if the length is greater than or equal to 10, guys, what I need to print, I'm using colon here. And what I need to print, guys, indentation is changed now, guys, you can see. And now I'm just printing that the name is long, guys. So see, guys, can you see this, right? So that is there. Now, guys, this condition is covered. So which condition is covered now? This part is covered, that what you need to print if it is greater than 10. Okay, guys. Now we have to check for this condition, guys, that if length is less than 10, but greater than 5 or equal to 5, then what you have to do? In this case, guys, we have to, again check what is the length. If it is greater than, 5 or less than 10. So I need to check one more condition, guys. And for that, I need to press backspace and use, another keyword that is called as elif. Elif stands for else if, guys, so we are still going to check elif now. And within the elif, guys, I need to check what? That my length of the string should be less than 10, guys, see this, it should be 10. So how to check this condition? Len, what is the length? str1 length, it should be less than 10. So this condition is checked, guys. But I also need to check for this condition,
that, you know, it should be greater than or equal to 5. So I need to have one more condition. So if you have one more condition, you need to use a keyword, right? You need to use a keyword called, you know, and, right? So guys, you cannot use else if or if. It is you know, a predefined keyword, that is elif, ELIF. You can use only this, you know. And now guys, I'm using and now after the and, I'm going to again say len, and I need to check whether this length is greater than or equal to 5. So guys, you know, I need to check whether the length is in this range or not. See this, guys, right? And I'm going to, you know, use this, right? I'm going to use this, guys. So guys, always remember, in Python we are using this A and D, not like this, guys. You know, I'm not doing like this. I'm using this A and D, right? So now guys, if this condition is true, that means the length is less than 10 but greater than or equal to 5, then what I need to print, guys, right? I need to print, what message I need to print, guys? Medium, right? The length of the name is medium, right? Okay, if now guys, we are at this condition that if it is less than 5, then you can print short. So guys, if this condition is not true, and even this condition is also not true, that means this condition is by default true, right? If it is not greater than 10 or not less than 10 or greater than, you know, 5, right? Then guys, what we need to go do, we need to go for else now. That if none of these conditions are true, no one is true, then, you know, go to the else mode, and now there we can print short. That means if a string is not long, if a string is not medium, we can directly print that it is short, guys. And this way we complete our understanding that how we can use if, elif, and else. So that is, you know, the complete control flow kind of mechanism. So guys, can we run it? Yes, we can run it. So let's, guys, you know, and you can, you know, have as many elif statement as many, right? You can have one more elif here, right? You can write, if you have one more condition to check, you can use one more elif here, right, guys? After that, you can have again one more elif. So you can have, you know, a lot many elif. It is not like that you can use only one elif. You can have multiple elifs as well, right? So guys, and guys, in this printf statement, I'm using double quote. Here I'm using double quote, but here I'm using single quote, because, you know, now in Python, double quote and, you know, a single quote is same. So guys, can we run this code now? Yes, we can run this code. So from where to where? I'm selecting from line 42 to 51, guys, and I'm going to run it, right? So we will take input from the user. So we'll read the name from the user. So guys, see this, enter name. Okay, the name is Yogendra. So I'm Yogendra, and now it says length is medium, guys. Okay, can I run it again? Yes, I can run it again, guys. See this, enter the name. So this time I let Sif, you know, I say what I say, ball, let's say, right? Some name is given. That's, it is just saying short. Okay, again, let's run it, and, you know, I say, you know, enter name, right? And now, guys, if I say enter a name here, I say, for example, FOSS coding is school. So now, you know, there you see a long, right? So there you know, a long, guys. So Dr. Sylvester, can you call Professor Kumkum Garg? She's calling me.
Okay.
Can you please call her and talk to her?
Okay.
Just respond in chat window. I may not be hearing you. So yeah. Okay, guys. Sorry for interruption. I got a very urgent call from some university, so I just, you know, I need to, you know, handle that. Now, guys, is this clear now, guys, that how we are using if, elif, and else? Then I'll move forward in that case after that, right, guys? Okay, I can see a lot of people responding. You know, I have told you earlier, guys, I'm requesting every time. Then whenever you are asked for a feedback, please share the feedback, right? Don't sit idle. Sona nahi hai, right? You know, no need to sleep. And I think I would be, I will make you not to sleep actually, right? So, and thank you for that. Right. So guys, one more, you know, a concept you need to understand, that you can never write a condition in else. You can never write a condition in else, guys. Else will always come like this only. The fundamental is very clear, that if nothing is working beforehand, right? If nothing is working beforehand, right? You need to go in else. That's it. If this is also not true, this is also not true, then by default, it will go into else mode, right? So you have colon for else. That's it, visit, right? Nothing else. Guys, strlen was the function in C programming. It is not in Python, so I'm just removing it. Maybe you get confused after that. So we are only using len method, right? We are using, you know, len method here. Okay. So, okay, guys, now we are moving a little, you know, forward, and, you know, okay. So guys, and means, okay, you know, Selvin, understand this, guys, you know, see this, guys, what is the meaning of this and? The and means that this condition has to be true, right? This condition has to be true, and also this condition has to be true. If both of these conditions are true, then only Aleph will work. If this condition is true but this condition is false, then Aleph will not work, right? If both of the conditions are false, then again Aleph will not work. Aleph will only work if both conditions are true, and that's why we are using and. If you want that your one of condition should be true, right, in that case you can say or is fine, right? But in our case we cannot use or, right? We have to use and only, because what we need, that length should be less than 10 and it should be greater than or equal to 5. So both of these conditions should be, you know, are true, then only we can print medium, right? So that's there, guys. So are things good so far, guys, right? And I can take a new topic now, right? I can take a new one. Okay, guys. Okay, now everybody please focus what I say now, right? Everybody please, you know, focus what I say now. So please, you know, focus on the screen now. Take your attention back to the screen. Just get off from the chat as of now. We'll come back to that, right? You know, now guys, see that whenever I need to check the length, right? Whenever I, you know, need to check, right? You know, just a minute, guys. So guys, you can see that whenever I need to check a length, every time I have to run this piece of code, right? Every time we have to run this piece of code. So this time, you know, I'm let's say saying Jaipur, you know, again, I need to check a length. So again, you know, I have to, you know, select this. And then again, you know, I have to enter, let's say Jodhpur, you know, kind of, you know, see this medium and all that. Now guys, I want that this, you know, a piece of code from line number 42 to line number 51, it should continue to run, right? It should keep asking me the name and printing the length. It should keep asking me, right? You know, a name and then printing the length, right? It should keep asking me the name and then, you know, printing. That means I need to, you know, run this code in some kind of a looping fashion, that it should repeatedly run, right? It should repeatedly run. And how we can do that? how we can run this in a loop. So guys, what I'm doing now, I'm taking this piece of code, guys, I'm taking this piece of code. I will write one more version. So this, guys, that was the version 3. So I'm going to run a version, a 4. And what I need to do, I need to run that piece of code under a loop, so that I don't need to, run it again and again. It will continue to ask me that give me the next name, give me the next name. So guys, what I'm going to do now. So guys, for that purpose, what I'm going to do, I'm going to use a while loop. Okay. How to do a while loop, how to use a while loop. So guys, while loop is very simple. It's simple as C programming. So guys, this is while keyword. And guys, you know that after the while keyword, you need to write a condition here, right? We will write a condition here. We will, use the colon. After pressing that, you will see a change in indentation. And now you can see print, let's say you say hello, right? See this, hello, right? And now guys, I want to continue to print hello. Let's say, for example, मुझे बार-बार hello print कराते जाना है. So, I have to, continuously print hello, hello, hello. That means this condition should always be true. As long as this condition is always true, we will always printing hello, hello again, and hello again, right? So how I can make this condition true? I can directly return a true here, guys, I can directly write a true here. That means this condition is always true. And if this is true, it will always print hello. So let's see, guys, what is the output. So I'm just selecting this, guys. That's it, right? And see this, guys, what happens on the console, right? See this, guys. Can you see, guys? Hello, hello, hello. It's running in a loop now. Hello, 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 hello. That's it. It's an infinite loop, guys. Now it is an infinite loop. How I can break it? I can directly go to this red button, guys. On the top right window, there is a red button. I can stop the current execution. I click on this, and there you see I interrupted the execution. So now that looping is stopped. Sometimes people write directly one here, maybe you can use that as well. One is also meaning true here, right? So see, guys, again, you will get continue to hello, 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 no, right? See this. If I write 0 here, guys, that means condition is false. If I write 0 here, guys, right? See this. Why, right? See this. I don't get any output. Can you see hello now, guys? No, you did not get hello because the condition was false, right? And now I can say false as well here, right? I can say false as well. Again, the condition is false. So as long as condition is true, you get to, print it. Otherwise, it will not print. Okay, guys, but what was my original agenda? My original agenda was to keep this code under while loop, guys, right? What I was supposed to do, I was supposed to use this piece of code under while so that it goes on, for running. So guys, I'm copying it. I'm removing this statement, right? And now see this, guys, I'm putting it here. But hold on, guys, there is a catch here. Can you see, guys, that as of now, the indentation of this code is not proper. And if indentation is not proper, this piece of code does not come under while as of now, guys. Guys, this selected code that you see in the blue, color, it is not under the while loop. How we can make it under while loop? We need to change the indentation of this. How we can change the indentation? I can directly press a tab as of now. So now you can see, guys, now this entire code is under what? Under this while loop, guys. This is under while loop. And now can we run it, guys? Yes, we can run it, but we have to make one change here. I need to make it true because I want to run this code infinitely. So I need to make it true, guys. So guys, now I'm using a while loop. And inside the while loop, what I'm doing, guys, the first statement I'm taking from the user input. After taking the input, I'm checking whether I need to print long or I need to print medium or I need to print short. Guys, I'm going to repeat it again. So guys, so you are clear so far that in version 3, what we were doing, guys, we were taking input from the user and printing long, medium, or short based on the condition. Now I want to, put this code under a loop so that it runs forever. It keeps running. So for that purpose, I'm using a loop, and for the loop, I'm using while loop. Within the while loop, I'm putting a condition. So as long as this condition is true, right, this code will run forever, right? And this is the same code that we had in version 3, but I have put it under a while loop now, right? Ashma. So that is there. Okay, can we run it, guys? Now this code is ready to execute. See this, guys. Let me run this. This may confuse. See this. See, guys, I'm selecting everything, and now see, guys, what we get. Enter the name. So I'm entering Jaipur. It prints me medium, and again says enter the name. That means now we are in a loop. Enter the name. So this time I say Jodhpur. Right? So this is Jodhpur, medium. It is again asking me the enter name. So let's say I add Kanpur, medium. Let's say I add Ranchi, medium, right? Let's say I enter Chennai. Okay, let's say I do Hyderabad, a couple of other city names you can. So this is going to continue. Now, guys, we are in a one problem now. How to come out of this loop? It's okay. We are okay. If you want to terminate this loop, we can press this button directly, right? But that is not a good solution, right? I'm pressing this red button, guys. Keyboard interrupted, loop executed, terminate ho gaya. We got the exit, right, guys? How we can, come out of this loop? This loop is going to run forever, guys, right? See this, enter the name. Again, we are here, guys, Salman, let's say I say, this, right? Or, you can add some other, a name here as well, right? So I say Ajay or anything, right? Now, what we can do, guys, I'm going to terminate again. So guys, we can do one thing, that if you want to terminate this loop, we can, make use of a concept, right? Right, guys? What concept is this? That my loop should terminate. So guys, this is the condition I'm going to write, right? My loop should terminate, right? If user, presses enter button or enter key without giving any name, See this, guys. What I'm saying, agar user koi bhi naam nahi deta hai, he does not write anything and directly presses the enter key, your loop should come out, your loop should terminate. आपका loop वहीं पे वहीं खत्म हो जाना चाहिए, बंद हो जाना चाहिए. It should not continue anymore, right? How we can check, guys? How we can check. So guys, we are taking input from the user, right? And you guys, can you, it's clear to you now that str1 is str, right? Because input will always take input as a str. What we can do, if str coming blank, that means user had not given any input. अगर user ने बिना कुछ input दिए हुए enter press कर दिया, तो इसका मतलब क्या होगा? str1 blank होगा. And for that purpose, what we can do a condition, guys. It's very important, guys. Please focus. I write condition like this: if not str1, अगर str1 में कुछ भी नहीं है तो क्या करना है, right? If there is nothing in the str1 is completely blank, right? Then we need to do a break, guys. We need to call a break. And break means terminate the loop execution. That's it, right? Break means terminate the loop execution. बंद कर दो loop जो चल रहा है उसको खत्म करो. That's there, guys. So guys, do you understand what is the break? Break is a keyword that is used in Java as well, used in C as well, and C++ as well. It is used in Python as well. Break means terminate the loop. Guys, what is the meaning of break? Terminate the loop. So I'm going to write inline, you know, terminate the loop. See this, guys. Okay, what will happen in that case? If we do not enter any name and directly press enter, this loop will terminate. So see, let's see, guys, if this is working properly or not. And later on, I will explain that what is this concept, not str1, right? Why? See this, guys. I'm going to run it again. Let's see, guys. Okay, I'm running it. Enter the name. Okay, this time let's say Delhi, for example, medium. Okay, I say this time Kolkata, right? Medium. See, I say Bhopal, for example. So we are running in the loop. And this time, guys, I'm not writing anything and directly pressing the enter button, right? Directly pressing the enter button. See this, guys, I'm pressing the enter button without writing anything and we are out of the loop. Can you see, guys? We got the command line again. That means we are out of the loop now. Why it happened? Because when there was no, there was nothing in str1, when the str1 was blank, this condition became true. As long as you have something in str1, this condition will always be false. And as long as this condition is false, you will never see a break. Break will only happen if this condition is true. So let me show you one example on the command line, guys. So let's say str1 is equal to Jaipur, for example. See this, guys. Okay. And now I'm going to write this expression here, guys. I say not str1. This is the expression, guys. And what is the response coming? Not str1. It says false. Okay. I say str1 is equal to Bhopal, for example. Not str1. See again, you see the false. This time, guys, I'm doing str1 is equal to blank string. And how to denote a blank string? Guys, can you see? I did not write anything. I just used double quotes. That's it. That means your string is blank. Okay, can I check the len? Yes, I can check the length as well. It should be, what should be the length, guys, in that case? It should be 0. So 0 is the length, right? And if I say not str1 this time, guys, what will happen, right? This will be a true, guys. This would be a true. So that means this condition will become true if your string is blank, guys, right? So guys, did you get the idea around using not? Guys, did you get the idea that using not, we can, do, for us? समझ में आया नहीं आया प्लीज बताएं जवाब दें okay I will explain it again guys I will explain it again okay let me do one thing okay guys let me guys I think see this what I'm going to ask you just respond to that only guys is this part clear to you that how we are using if or else is this part clear to you right this is clear too. Okay I'm going to ask again next question is there for you guys if I remove this part as of now right if I remove this part as of now is this code clear to you that we are using a while loop this is an infinite loop because this condition is always true right and we are taking input from the user and printing the long medium or short the only problem you may have is this right this piece of code is a problem for you right and now understand this again. Guys, we know if condition, yes. And after the if keyword, what we do guys? We write a condition. That is the condition we have written. And if this condition is true guys, what will happen? This break will execute. And if break executes, what will happen? The loop will terminate. That means to terminate the loop, what condition should be true? this condition should be true, right? And now we need to check when this condition will become true. When this condition will become true. So now I'm just saying, let's say guys, I have a str1 and I'm saying Jodhpur, for example. See this, okay? This is not a blank string, right? And I'm taking a one more str2, which is blank as of now. So these are the two strings, guys. And now see what is the response when I say not str1. See this, what is the guys? False. That means this condition will not be true for str1. This condition would be false. And if this condition is false, that means there would be a no break. Break will not happen. Okay, got it. What if I say not str2? In this case, guys, can you see what we get? True. That means if your string is blank, this condition will become true. And if this condition will become true, break will execute. And if the break will execute, you will terminate the loop. Is that clear now, guys? Is that clear now that what is happening, how it is working? So that is there, guys. That is there. अब तो मेरा मानना है कि आना चाहिए समझ में, right? So what I'm going to do, guys, if you have some issue, right? See this, guys, I'm going to copy this code, right? So Nandini, I would request you that, sometimes whatever we are teaching you, you should focus on the screen and you can ask the questions later on actually, right? Sometimes what happens, you are asking some question and some concept is also going on and then you miss the focus and you are lost from that part, right? So, do not mix both of them, right? So when we are talking about some discussion, it's a good idea that you focus on that. Post that you can have a lot of questions, don't worry about that. We will answer every question, right? So guys, I'm going to copy and paste, for you in the chat window so that in case, right? If you are, doing something at your, computer screen, you can, do that. So that's there, guys. That's there, right? So ab aage chalte hain. Let's move a little ahead, and we have a, something, a new, concept coming up, guys. Aage chalu break ke baad. Can we move ahead, guys? No, Divya Rani, you can't do that. No, Updesh, it will not work, right? Guys, is my audio clear to you? Guys, can you please respond? Is my audio clear to you? Okay, got it. Okay, thank you. Yeah. I think you can do one thing, S27 V19, right? You can do, you just log out again and log in again, right? So and that will, no Tabassum Ansari specifying the condition bracket is not necessary. You can, remove that as well. No need to have this, right? Yes, you can try with that. That may happen. Yes, right. Okay, guys, something, once again, something important coming up for you and you will love it actually. See this, what is happening, guys. I'm going to talk about a new concept now, guys. I'm going to talk about, so guys, can you see that I'm trying to club, the concepts. I'm not going to teach you the concepts in, isolation. I want you that you should learn that how we can mix all the concepts to solve the problem. That is very important in any programming language, right? You can use each and every concept independently, separately, but when you come to, integrate all those concepts, sometimes things do not work the way you want. So I'm just trying to give, a approach for you that how you can mix in every. Guys, can you see from where I started, right? I started from a basic understanding of the if else, right? Then we got that how we can take input from the user. Then we got a new concept that how you can use, elif conditions. You can have more than one elif conditions as well. Then I told you that how you can continue to run this piece of code using a loop mechanism. Then we got a looping condition here. Then we got a problem that how will come out of the loop. Loop se bahar kab aayenge? Then we put a condition that if the user, right, does not enter anything and directly presses the enter key, you need to break from the loop. So break is a keyword in Python that terminates your loop, guys. That terminates your loop, right? And now we are going to talk about something else. I'm going to talk about one more loop, guys. That loop is known as for each loop. Very interesting one and very, easy to understand. Guys, I told you that while loop is exactly similar. There is no do while in Python, guys. There is no do while in Python, right? And there is no switch as well, guys. There is no switch as well. If you are from C programming background, you may have this question. There is no switch, right? There is no switch, right? Yeah, Smriti Ranjan, fine, that's good. And guys, in Python, for loop is little different, right? For loop is different, different than C here, guys, right? What I'm telling you, guys, the for loop in Python is little different from for loop in C programming, right? Okay, how to do that, guys? Let's understand that part. I create a list. I told you guys about the list yesterday, right? I took an example, Amar, Akbar, Anthony, 3 names in the list. This time I'm going to take a couple of city names from Rajasthan, guys, Jaipur is one city name, so I'm taking first item in the list as Jaipur. I'm going to take one more name, coaching hub of India, Kota is there, right? Bikaner, you will find Bikaner, a sweet shop everywhere in India. So that's there, Bikaner Mistan Bandar, right? And guys, we have one more city, let's say I say Alwar. Alwar is the new epicenter of the corona spread as of now in Rajasthan. So these are the couple of, city names, guys, here. You can see them. I'll take them a little, above here. Okay, guys, see this, we have this. How many items this list has, I can directly call the alien method. So I can check how many items it has, alien, and what should I write here? The name of my list. The name of my list is list 1. So it has 4 items. That means 4 city names are there. And now, guys, what I want to do, I want to print the name of every city from the list one by one. One by one, I want to print all the names. How I can do that? So I see this, guys. I'm going to run a loop. What loop I'm going to write, guys? I'm going to write a for loop. See this, guys. For keyword coming. I will say, a for, but you have to call it for each actually. So you say for each name. So I do not write each, guys, but I say each, right? मैंने लिखा नहीं है each, लेकिन मैंने बोला है. For each name in list 1, guys. क्या लिखा हुआ है? For each name where in list 1, colon, and after the colon, you have a change in indentation, and then you can say print name. See this, guys, what is happening. This is just a simple for each loop in Python. Let's run it first, and then I will explain how it is working. See this, guys. Can you see, guys? We got printed all the city names. Jaipur was there, then Kota, then Bikaner, and then Alwar. What is happening here, guys? Listen very carefully. Listen here, guys. Guys, this name is not working as an index. First of all, you have to understand this concept. Name is not an index here, guys, right? Name is working as a iterator. What we call it, guys? Iterator. We call it as an iterator. And how it iterates? When the loop is running for the first time, name is directly equal to Jaipur. When the name is running second time, the loop is running second time, name is Kota. When the loop is running third time, name is directly equal to Bikaner. When the loop is running fourth time, name is directly equal to Alwar. And that's why when I say print name, every time I get a new city name. And the first, iteration, it was Jaipur. Second iteration, name was Kota. Third iteration, name was Bikaner. Fourth iteration, it was Alwar. Okay, guys. Having this name, right, it's not mandatory that you always take it name. Whatever name you like, you can have it here. So guys, let me copy it. And instead of name, let's say I say for each X in list 1, print X. See this, guys. This time, what will happen? Now, in the first iteration, X is equal to Kota. Second iteration, X is equal to, in the first iteration, X is equal to Jaipur. In the second iteration, X is Kota. In the third iteration, X is Bikaner. In the fourth iteration, X is Alwar. So you can have any name here, right? If you are okay that I want, let's say, a city name here, right? You want a city. See this. For each city in list 1, print city. See this, guys, So that means, you can change. That is known as iterator, and you can, have any name here. जो भी आपको अच्छा लगे वो आप नाम यहाँ पे रख सकते हैं. So that is the way, so there is no concept of indexing in for each loop, right? So guys, did you get the idea of the for each loop now? That it is working as an iterator, right? It is not working as an index, right? That is there, guys, that is there, guys. Got it? So this is there, guys. Guys, क्या आप मुझे बताएंगे कि for each loop समझ में आया या नहीं आया, please? Now first I will take one more example, don't worry. Okay. See this, guys. What I told you, right? We can, see this. This is our list 1, guys. This is our list 1, right? And now, what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to print the city names one by one. I'm going to print the city names one by one, right? So see this, guys, what will happen in that case? If I want to print one by one, that means I need a loop kind of a mechanism, right? Because that loop will take one name at a time. That loop will take one name at a time. And, for that purpose, guys, we are using for each loop. So for each, right, item in list 1. See this, guys, this time I'm using item, right? So guys, and I say print item here. So what is happening? Let's run this. When the loop is running for the first time, right, item is working as a placeholder. This is called as iterator. आप इसको as a variable मान सकते हैं. And the first iteration, item is equal to Jaipur directly. And that's why you print Jaipur here, right? In the second iteration, item would be Kota. So you print the Kota in the next line. In the third iteration, item is Bikaner, right? Then you print the Bikaner. In the fourth iteration, item is Alwar, right? So that means this placeholder or this iterator directly, holds the value, right? And this is called as for each loop, guys. This is called as for each loop in that case. Guys, did you get the idea now? Did you get the idea? Right? Okay, if you want that you should print all the names in one line, then you can use one keyword called AND, guys. AND. AND is equal to, let's say you put a space, What will happen in that case, guys? It will not print, name, one name in one line. It will print all the names in one line. So see this, guys, separated by a space. See this, guys? Okay, let me run this. See this. Jaipur, Kota, Bikaner, Alwar, right? If you want, that comma should be there in between, so you can use a comma here, right? So now, and is the keyword that says, do not go to the next line, just put a, a comma or a space before printing the new item, right? So now you can see this, guys. See this. You can print Jaipur, Kota, Bikaner, Alwar, right? That is there. Now, guys, I'm going to explain, a couple of more concepts in loop now, guys. In the for loop, I will continue to, have this loop only. So I'm just, removing this, see, print item. Hussain, item को double quote में मत रखो. Item को directly print करवाओ, variable है, right? So see this, guys. Now, I'm going to, make a change here, guys. I'm going to make a little change here. So I'm just making a copy of this code. So just see this, guys. Again, couple of interesting things. I will take, around 10 more minutes, and then we will close the discussion for today, and we'll take the question answer sessions from you, right? Don't worry. Now, see this, guys. This is my list. Cool, got it. And now, guys, what I say, I'm going to include a one if condition here, guys, for each item in list 1. And now I say if item is equal to, see this, guys, what I'm saying, if item is equal to Bikaner, see this, guys, what I'm saying, if item is equal to Bikaner, maybe you can put under a parenthesis if you have any confusion. Right? If item is equal to Bikaner, break. See this, guys, what I'm saying. ये कह रहा है कि जब loop चल रहा है, right? When the loop is running, और item अगर Bikaner के बराबर हो जाए, if item becomes equal to Bikaner, right? Whenever you want to compare two things, you need to use, a double equal. Otherwise, it will become an assignment, guys. It is, don't do this. You have to use this. If you want to compare, you have to do it like that, right? See this. So, guys, if item is equal to Bikaner, what will happen? Break will happen. And the break happens, that means our loop will terminate, right? That means as the item comes Bikaner, we will terminate the loop. Let's see, guys, what is the output in that case. And then you need to explain why we only got 2 city names, why the Bikaner is not printing, why the Alwar is not coming. Guys, can you explain me? The simple explanation is there, that when the loop, right, when the loop is running for the first time, what happens, guys? Item is equal to Jaipur, and the Jaipur is not equal to Bikaner, so that condition becomes false. So we will not get the break. We will print the name here. When the loop is running for the second time, item is equal to Kota. Again, this condition gets false because Kota is not equal to Bikaner, right? So we do not get break again, and we print the item. In the third iteration, guys, what happens? Item is Bikaner. In that case, Bikaner becomes equal to Bikaner. That means this condition has been true now. Now, if this condition is true, we will see break, the break will happen, and if break happens, loop terminates. So loop terminates even before printing the name of city. Bikaner को भी print नहीं किया उसने, उससे पहले break हो गया. So that was there, guys, right? That would be there, right? And because loop break हो चुका है, तो अब आगे वो अलवर को तो print ही नहीं करेगा because loop is terminated now. Right? Because जैसे ही ये कंडीशन ट्रू हुई, बीकानेर आया, बीकानेर आते ही ब्रेक हुआ, ब्रेक आते ही मतलब लूप टर्मिनेटेड. अगर लूप टर्मिनेट हो गया तो फिर आगे वो अलवर को प्रिंट करेगा ही नहीं, बिकॉज नाउ इट्स नॉट रनिंग. मोनिका चल्ला, right? So this is, that's there. Okay, see this. Okay, what will happen, guys, if I say, what would be the output if I say item is equal to quota? What will happen, say guys? Can you respond that what would be the output if I say, you know, item is equal to quota? What will happen, guys? We will only get one output, that is Jaipur, right? We will only get one output, that is Jaipur. Why? Because in the second iteration, item is equal to quota, and the quota becomes equal to quota. That means condition is true. If the condition is true, we have a break. So now wo quota print karega, na Bikaner, na hi Alwar, and that's why you only see a Jaipur in the response. Okay, got it? Okay, now guys, I'm going to copy again this, and I will explain the last topic of today, right? Now guys, this is my list. See this. This is my list, right? And now I'm saying that I'm going to run a for loop for each item in list 1. If item is equal to quota, this time I'm saying break nahi, continue. Guys, I'm saying continue, not break. I'm not calling the break, guys. This time I'm calling continue. What is the meaning of this? Let's see, guys, what is happening. Let me run the code first, and we'll discuss, later on that what is happening, guys. Can you see, guys? I only get the output Jaipur, then I'm getting the Bikaner, and then I'm getting the Alwar. But quota is not getting printed. Quota print nahi hua hai. Aisa kyun? Why it is happening like that? See this, what is happening in that case. See this, guys. In the first iteration, what happens? Item is equal to Jaipur. And if item is equal to Jaipur, this condition is false, so we will not see continue, right? So we don't need to worry about it, what the condition continue is doing, and we print the name, so that Jaipur is printed there, guys. Jaipur is getting printed. In the second iteration, what happens, guys? Now listen, everybody. In the second iteration, item is equal to quota. And if it is quota, then quota equals to quota. Condition becomes true. The condition becomes true, right? We get a continue. What is the meaning of the continue? Continue means that as you get a continue, skip all of the following statements. Continue के बाद आने वाले जितने भी statement हैं उनको skip करो और वापस से कहां चले जाओ? Continue in the loop. Loop से बाहर नहीं जाना है. Continue will not terminate the loop, guys. Break terminates the loop. Continue will not terminate the loop. Continue only does one thing, that when this condition is true, do not execute, rest of the statements, those statements which come after continue. Continue के बाद आने वाले किसी भी statement को execute नहीं करना है और वापस कहां चले जाना है? For loop से start करें. And that's why you see, guys, when the quota was there, item is equal to quota, this condition becomes true. And if this condition becomes true, this statement will not get executed, and that's why we do not get the output quota. But loop continues. In the third iteration, item is equal to Bikaner, so you get a Bikaner. In the fourth iteration, item is Alwar, you get the Alwar. And that's why, guys, continue means इसके जितने भी स्टेटमेंट बाद में आ रहे हैं उन सबको स्किप कर दो, बट लूप से बाहर नहीं जाना. यू हैव टू कंटिन्यू इन द लूप. सो गाइस, डिड यू गेट द आइडिया व्हाट द कंटिन्यू इज डूइंग? राइट, व्हाट द कंटिन्यू is doing. So that is there, guys. Okay, let me do one more thing. I will take so I'll talk about one more thing, guys. Guys, if you want to know that where a city name exists in the list, आपको check करना है कि कोई city name list में है या नहीं है, तो you can use an in condition. So let's see, guys, how to check this. Let's say I say Jaipur, Jaipur in list 1, it will say yes, it will say true, right? It will say true here, guys. See this. True. That means Jaipur is in list 1. वो है Jaipur अंदर. If I say let's say Bharatpur, right? In list 1. Bharatpur is not in list 1, it will say false. So according to true or false, we can take a decision whether a city name exists in my list or not, right? That's there. Now guys, let me explain through a visual approach for you. आज मैंने इसको बहुत कम use किया है because most of the time we were on the live coding part only. See this guys, what is happening? Guys, this is a while loop. Let's say, right? यहाँ पे एक condition लिखा हुआ है, and we have this S1. A couple of statements are here written here, and here we get a break, right? And then we have S3, S4 kind of statements and so on, right? And then we have while loop again as the next example, and then we have S1, S2, and then we have a continue, right? And then S3 and S4, guys, right? So guys, what will happen in this case? When break happens, guys, right? It terminates the loop. Termination happens here. That means as soon as you get a break, your control goes here, right? You are out of the loop. And whatever is coming here, let's say print is coming here, right? You will get the print here. But in case of continue, guys, what happens? Continue से हम यहाँ नहीं जाते हैं. ऐसा कभी भी नहीं होता. Continue से सिर्फ क्या होता है? These S3 and S4 will not execute, right? And you continue to remain in the loop. फिर से वापस से S1, S2, execute होगा. Continue, आपको loop के अंदर ही रख रहा है. सिर्फ S3 और S4 को execute नहीं करेगा, right? Right? But break आपको कहाँ लेके चला गया? Loop से बाहर लेके चला गया. That is there. So guys, did you get it now? Jyoti Gaba. So, that's there, right? And, so, now guys, you can have, so, okay, let me do one more thing, guys, so, now guys, what happened in that case, right? Because continue ने क्या किया? जैसे ही item is equal to quota हुआ, second iteration में item is equal to quota हो रहा है, तो continue होते ही क्या हुआ? Continue होते ही ये print statement execute नहीं होगा, इसीलिए quota print नहीं हुआ, but loop चल रहा है, तो third iteration में पहुंचे तो item is equal to बीकानेर हो गया, तो बीकानेर print कर दिया, fourth iteration में अलवर हो गया, तो अलवर print हो गया, right? That is there. तो इस तरीके से, okay, now guys, what you can do, एक दो चीजें कर सकते हो, right? Right? That would be, there. Pratyusha, वो next iteration है. Next iteration में see this what is happening. In the first iteration Jaipur है, so this condition is false. कोई continue नहीं मिला, तो item print हो गया. Second iteration में quota आया, quota condition true हो गई, तो continue मिला. Continue मिलते मैंने क्या बोला? बाद के statement execute नहीं होंगे, तो print statement execute नहीं हुआ. हम third iteration में चले गए. In the third iteration item is equal to बीकानेर. बीकानेर पे ये कंडीशन फॉल्स है, तो कंटिन्यू फिर से नहीं मिला, तो इसने बीकानेर प्रिंट कर दिया. फिर हम फोर्थ इटरेशन में चले गए, तो आइटम इज इक्वल टू अलवर है. अलवर फिर से कोटा के बराबर नहीं है, तो कंडीशन फॉल्स हो गई, राइट? इसका मतलब कंटिन्यू नहीं मिला, हमने फिर से प्रिंट कर दिया, तो अलवर प्रिंट हो गया, राइट? सो दैट इज देयर, प्रत्युषा, राइट? सो that is there, guys. That is there. Okay, now guys, I do one thing. What will happen, guys, if I make one more change? Last, guys, this is last. You tell me what will happen, guys. Now I say, if item is equal to Bikaner, item is equal to Bikaner, right? I say, what I say break, let's say, right? अब देखो मैंने continue और break को दोनों को एक साथ ही use कर दिया है, right? What would be the output? What output you see, guys? क्या output आएगा? We only see the Jaipur only. Why Jaipur only? Let me explain you why we got the Jaipur only, right? Basically, guys, in the first iteration, what happens? Item is equal to Jaipur, This condition is false, no continue. This condition is false, no break. We print the item, Jaipur is printed. In the second iteration, guys, item is equal to quota. If the item is equal to quota, what happens, guys? This condition is true. And if this condition is true, that means we get the continue. If we get the continue, these statement will not execute, right? These statement will not execute because continue के बाद क्या होता है? Statement execute नहीं होते अगर ये condition true हो गई है तो. So that's why you do not see the output as quota. You are in third iteration now. What happens in that case? Item is equal to Bikaner, guys. This condition is false, so no continue. But this time, this condition became true. And if this condition became true, we got break. And break ने तो क्या किया? It terminated the loop, right? अब तो loop ही terminate हो गया. It will never go to Albert, right? And that's why we only get a Jaipur only. So guys, that was the story for today from my side. How was the story for you guys? Let me know your feedback. So, मजा आया, नहीं आया, क्या रहा? So now people are saying, nice, excellent. Someone is saying, jackass. Okay, someone Anil Kapoor fan is there. So we get a jackass, okay. Maza aaya, someone saying, So now a lot of people are there who are responding to me, right? So, what they are saying? People are saying, Smriti Ranjan saying, we enjoyed. Pavan, JSR saying nice, sir. Shravani saying good. Sagar saying awesome. Priyanka saying nice. Dilip saying excellent. Radha saying amazing. Shubhangi saying very interesting. Santoshni saying great. Aparna saying interesting. Asma saying it was awesome. Thanks a lot. Devirani awesome. Avinav saying jackass. Nishtha saying understood all the concepts. Arpan Jhansi saying ek tarfa, I think he's saying some good about it. And Sumant saying wonderful. Akash saying of course great. Jhansi Palari saying super. Krish saying maza aaya. Bishwagyani okay saying superb. Abhishek say good class sir. Tabassum, Rakshit, Longanthan, Archana Mohanty, Danisha Fernandez, Abhishek Raj, Preetham More, Sriharini, Opu Kushore, Rishikesh Jha, Nikita Tidole or Tidole, I'm sorry if I'm wrong. Amra Akshay Kumar, superb. Monica, okay. And then, Ruhi is also there. Lisa, Joseph, Preeti Gupta, a lot of people are, so I can now safely assume that people are getting it and people are learning. Obviously 100% kai baar nahi hota hai, you can never expect it like, 100% guys, so I think, people have learned. So Mradula saying, so your teaching is very effective and it's very informative. Thank you. Ashwini Patel saying, sir, Ashwini Patel is saying, sir, please share payment link for the certificate. So, okay, guys, I remember announcement for you guys, right? Now, registrations for the certificate are open now, guys. Registrations for the certificate are open now. You can, click on the link that we are going to share with you. You need to pay 200 rupees only. You can pay through Google Pay or Phone Pay or, Amazon Pay or UPI or NEFT, whatever the way you want, or Paytm, right? And you can register for, this as well. And now, guys, from tomorrow, we are going to talk about something very interesting in Python. That is, we'll talk about some inbuilt data structures in Python. And most of the time, we'll focus on the list part. We'll understand how the list is working and how we can manipulate the data using list in Python. That would be a very, very interesting session. And we'll have a couple of more things, but the majority of the time will go in, dealing with the list. That would be a very interesting topic, guys. And guys, registrations for the certificate are now open, and you can, go there and, register yourself. Sylvester sir, can you please share, the certificate link so that guys can, go there and, register. Priyush Ramchandani saying, sir, perfect. Krish Gupta saying, sir, please take fast basic of Python. We want to do problem solving in Python. Krish, this program is designed in a way that everyone can take advantage of learning, right? तो थोड़ा सा हमें like we have to cover everything. हम बहुत ज़्यादा fast भी नहीं जा सकते. बहुत सारे लोग beginner हैं, वो पहली बार सीख रहे हैं, right? हो सकता है तुम्हें पहले से काफ़ी आता हो, पर मेरा मानना है कल के बाद थोड़ा सा तुम्हें भी सीखने में मज़ा आएगा. एंड थैंक्स दैट कि तुम्हें जानने के बाद भी तुमने डे 1 और डे 2 अटेंड किया है. दैट्स अ गुड दैट you want to learn more. Abhinav Gupta saying, really, very nice. It's very informative. From my side, I give you 10 on 10. Thank you. Saundarya saying, amazing, sir. Miraj Siddiqui is saying, sir, one of the best class. Thank you, Miraj. Ashwini Patil saying, excellent, sir. Upu Kishore is there. Vijay Mehta is saying, Shreya Ramesh, she's back from our Java class, right? Okay. Pranav Pandey is saying, sir, I'm beginner and thank you to teach me basic, and thanks a lot. Thanks, Vijay Mehta, right? Rahul Chawla, yes, we have assignment for today. I think Sylvester will explain assignment for you now. Okay. So, yes, Tandon is saying, sir, will you be organizing other sessions like this or of other languages or other tools? Guys, the next week we are launching a new program, and that program is AI and machine learning with Python, guys, right? So we are going to launch a new course next week, starting Monday, AI and machine learning with Python. And this would be a very interesting course, guys. Again, a 6 days course. You can go there and register yourself. The fee is, a super affordable fee, just 500 rupees, nothing else, right? And I think, already people have, attended those sessions, guys. So Devajyoti Paul, you can do these changes at your end, guys. बहुत सारे लोगों का सवाल है कि ब्रेक पहले लगाते तो क्या होगा, कंटिन्यू तो कर दें तो क्या होगा, एंड ऑल दैट. वो आप अपने मशीन पे आप थोड़ा सा ट्राई करके देखिए. You will get to know everything because अब basic मैंने आपको एक बार बता दिया. I've told you all the basics, right? So now playing with this code, right? किसको कहाँ लगाना है, कैसे रखना है, आगे पीछे. You can do a lot of changes now, and that way you have a very a good understanding. Neetu saying, sir, your way of presentation is really good. That means a lot for us. Thank you, Neetu. Thanks for that. Right. Aparna saying, awesome. Thank you so much, sir, for your patience. Paran Sarmaha saying, sir, you make learning fun. Thank you, Param. So Abhinav saying, sir, ऊपर से भी बहुत ऊपर एकदम awesome. So okay. Kirtana, I think we are focused on the basics first, right? And I will let you know from where you can get this concept of printing patterns, right? One of our intern has written a lot of codes around that, so I will explain that part, don't worry, right? So that's there. Akhila, thank you, Akhila. So guys, Sylvester has shared with you the certificate payment link. Just go there and register yourself, guys. Pradeep, it's not about that which loop is faster, right? You can use while or for, whatever it is, but it depends that what kind of problem you are trying to solve. So I will let you know tomorrow that where you can use while or where you can use for, right? I will explain that part to you. Pavitra, as of now, we are not including that reading images and all, right? Guys, this code would be available, this code would be available on your Google Drive, guys, right? So एक काम करते हैं, Google Drive का link मैंने आपको बता ही दिया है, so you have a Google Drive link now, right? So this is the Google Drive link, guys, right? So guys, so guys, 200, is the fee for certificate of this program. The program that is starting next week, AI and ML, with Python, the registration fee is 500, right? Yeah, Gurjeet Kaur, we will, share the certificate link on WhatsApp as well, right? So guys, now this is the time to talk about the code challenges, right? So let's talk about the code challenges, guys. What is there? See this, guys. Guys, all please focus on, on the screen now, right? Please all focus on the next screen now, guys, right? There are, a couple of assignments for you today, right? Yeah, thank you, Arif. See this, guys. What is the assignment you have? Sylvester sir, मैं थोड़ा पानी पी लूं, if you can explain the assignment.
Good evening, guys.
So guys, Sylvester sir is going to explain what you have to do. So I'm just, this is talking about the assignment 3. That is the first assignment for today. That is day 2. Sarji.
Yeah. So, guys, good evening. You people must have completed 2 assignments yesterday. That was day 1. And on day 2, guys, you people have 3 assignments here. Assignment number 3, assignment number 4, and assignment number 5. Okay. The first assignment for today, that's a number 3 assignment, is clean the messy celery. What you need to do is, let's imagine on line number 12, you have a variable in which you have a string in which I store a salary. And if you see that within the string, there is a dollar, then 876, then comma, and then what? 001. So what I need to do is, I need to increase the salary by 10%, for example. But I'm not able to do that. Why? Because the salary is in string. So what I need to do is, I need to do 3 things now. If I want to do some data manipulation on this salary, because the salary is in string, I will not be able to do that. So what I need to do? I need to do 3 things. On line number 14, it says remove the dollar. So what you need to do is, you need to remove the dollar sign from the string. That's your first work. Second work is remove the comma. Naturally, I need to remove the comma also. And the third thing is, once the dollar and comma is removed, I need to convert the string into integer. So this step is known as cleaning the messy salary. Okay, and what you people can do, you can use the slicing concept to remove the dollar, or you can use the replace method. Whatever way you want, you people can do that. Second is the removing of the comma. Sir has explained you the concept of split and join. You can use that to remove what? The comma. So you can split with the comma and then again join. But then again it will be a string. So what I need to do now? I need to typecast that using what? Int. And then convert the string into a integer. This is the problem what you need to solve. Is it clear, guys? Good. Sir, can you scroll this next assignment? Next assignment is assignment number 4. That's again an easy assignment, guys. What you need to do is, you need to take input from the user, what? His age. And when you take the input from the user, his age, you need to tell now or print whether he is an infant, a child, an adult, or a senior citizen. So if you want to achieve this, you need to use the concept of your control flow. That is, if, elif, else. And if you want that, I've given a hint also on line number 36. Who is an infant? Anybody whose age is greater than 0 but less than equal to 1. Who is a child? Whose age is greater than 1 and less than equal to what? 18. Who is an adult? Whose age is greater than 18 and less than equal to 60. And who is a senior citizen? Anybody whose age is greater than 60. Okay, so you can use this logic, try some if and else, and it's a very easy one, guys. And the third assignment for today is, so can you scroll, sir?
Just a minute.
Yeah, if the third assignment is assignment number 5, that's known as the fizz buzz. Okay, it's a very a good assignment to solve. Okay, it's a very famous assignment which a lot of students try to solve this. What you need to do is, there are 2 parts to this code challenge. The first is, you need to create a loop which prints from 1 to 50. That's the first part, guys. What you need to do, guys? You need to now have a loop which prints from 1 to 50. And now concentrate, guys, on line number 57 to 71. What happens? It printed 1, it printed 2, and see 3. It has not printed 3. You know, guys, why? Because 3 is what? A multiple of 3. That means if any number is multiple of 3, I need to print fizz. If any number is multiple of 5, I need to print buzz. And if any number is multiple of 3 and 5 both, I need to print fizz buzz. So if you see, guys, on line number 61, 5 is not printed. What is printed? Buzz. Why? Because 5 is divisible by 5 itself. Similarly, if you see on line number 66, 10 is not printed. Why, guys? Because 10 is what? Divisible by 5. So it prints buzz. But if you see at line number 71, guys, it's 15. And 15 is divisible by both. By 3 also and 5 also. And that's why I have printed fizz and buzz. This is a small program what you people have to write. So there are, guys, 3 assignments for today. And if you want, you people can then upload it to our portal then. Okay, guys. Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir. So, guys, that was for today. And I hope you guys are spending some extra time as well, right? You are getting, time for practice as well. Jitna practice karenge, obviously, उतना ही आपको फायदा होने वाला है. So guys, this is the first assignment for today. I'm just pasting them in a chat window in case you want. These are uploaded on the Google Drive as well. This is the second, guys, assignment, and this is the third assignment for today. So ये हैं. Practice करते हैं तो obviously and guys, you can submit these assignments through a Google, a form that was told you yesterday. कल आपको बताया गया था. We gave you the demo as well, that you can go to this link, guys. Right? You can go to this link and upload your .py file. Right? Upload your .py file. So this is the link, guys, where you can go and submit. That's there. So guys, बीच में नींद तो नहीं आ जाती आप लोगों को? Do you get you know do you you know get fall to sleep? Asma saying no. Suresh Kumar, Rashni saying very informative. Okay, Pranav Pandey saying no. Supriya Nandini saying no. Ashwini Patil saying no. Pradeep Sharma saying bilkul nahi sir. Okay, Dr. Sylvester, couple of students are asking for the Google review link. So guys, if you want to give us a review on the Google, you can, go on the shared link and you can write a review as well, right? Rishikesh Jha is saying, sir, इतनी अच्छी क्लास में नींद कैसे आ सकती है? Thank you, Rishi. Amra saying no. Navya Sri Konathla Vishakhapatnam say, saying how to use loop variable while writing loops. I'll do that tomorrow, don't worry Navya, right? Nikita saying no. Azhar Khan saying, sir, which database is best in Python? So all the databases are good, Azhar. It depends that what database you want to use. Do you want to use MySQL or SQLite 3 or MongoDB or Cassandra or, there are a lot of, basically Oracle or, so there are a lot of things, right? So, so that is there. And guys, I'm going to share a review. So if you want to give us a review on the Google, you can go and click on this link and you can share the link. You can share your feedback there, right? तंजील बिलाल सिंह सर, जब एक्सप्लेनेशन इतना अच्छा हो तब नींद कैसे किस बात की? ओके, थैंक यू बिलाल. So that's there. Shritam Achari saying no. Okay. Ayaz Mohammed Abdul Razak saying, sir, can we get registration for AI and ML? So, Sirji, what is the registration link for AI ML today? I think that Surendra was sharing it on that, right? Just a minute. Probably. Just a minute, Ayaz. I'm just searching for that.
Sir? Sir, can you hear me?
Oh, okay, I got it. ठीक है sir, ठीक है. So Ayaz, that is already shared with you, right? So you can go. Aman saying आपके समझाने का तरीका बहुत अच्छा है. Thank you sir. Thank you Aman. Okay. Vijay Naik, you can use nested if as well. There is no issue with that. So Vijay, क्या करना है? So once you understand the basic concepts, now there's a whole world for the experiments, right? You can have a whole questions around that, and then what you can do, sit on the machine, sit on the laptop, and just experiment with these basic questions, right? That what happens if this is there? What happens if this is there? That way you learn more. जब हम कोई चीज करते हैं, right? Then you have a lot of things, right? Swati, okay, which did you applied for certificate, or did you apply for that AI ML course, Swati? For certificate? Okay, so I think research scholar is also a student. I'm sure, right? So I think it only takes that way. But I'll talk about it to Sylvester sir. वो एक स्वाति सिंह सर की उसमें रिसर्च स्कॉलर का ऑप्शन नहीं है, तो आप एक बार देख लेना. That is working, right? Thank you Sritam. नवाज शरीफ क्या कह रहे हो? Yeah, Nawaz, certificate is available. Yes, right, you are right. Yeah. So, so Chandrasekhar, that you can try in your editor, right? खुद कोशिश करो, पता चल जाएगा. That way you can have a practice as well, right? Uh, uh, okay, Swati, let's do one thing. Please raise the issue on this email, right? Accordingly, we will generate the certificate for you, right? See this. That's there. Okay, Sritam. Just a minute, Sritam. This is there, Sritam. नवाज क्या कह रहे हो? मुझे थोड़ा समझ नहीं आ रहा. एक बार क्या कह रहे हो? क्लास Rohit Sarma, I think for internship you need a longer duration. I think at least for 1 month or so. I think you should have, right? हाँ नवाज वो AI आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस और ML का नेक्स्ट वीक कोर्स आ रहा है, राइट? That would be a 6 days course. We will cover basic of the Python on the day 1. On the day 2, we will cover data analytics. On day 3, we will cover supervised machine learning. On day 4, again supervised machine learning. On day 5, unsupervised machine learning. And on day 6, it would be an introduction to deep learning. So it will be all practical, you know, all practical on. Gyanbaji bahut kam or problem solving zyada, right? No, Nawaz, it is, you have to register by paying 500 rupees for that, right? Ayushi is saying, sir, I have a question from yesterday's string topic. If str1 is equal to fast skill, I want letters to be printed that are at index 5 and 10 respectively, right? So for that, Ayushi, you will have to do it, you know, separately only. There is no way for that, right? So uske liye to fir tum, you know, simply you can do this, Ayushi. You know, if you are saying that str1 is equal to FOSC, right? School. So there is as such no, you know, what you are saying, they are very, you know, separate indexes. They are not even range, or there is no specific pattern. Then only you can do just this on this part only, that str1, you are saying index 5. After the comma, you are saying str1 index 5. And after the comma, you can say str1 index 10, for example. So you will have to do it separately. You can use comma operator. In that case, you can see this. This is coming actually, right? Or you know, so or you can print them separately as well, right? वो आप देख सकते हो कैसे आपको print कराना है. बट आई थिंक तुम्हें शायद किसी और दूसरे आंसर की तलाश थी कि क्या कोई ऐसा कोई डायरेक्ट मेथड या कोई ऐसा, यू नो, आई थिंक वो नहीं है यहाँ पे आयुषी. यू नो, यू विल हैव टू यूज इट सेपरेटली, राइट? Mugila Prabhakaran, it would be a certificate of I think it would be a certificate of completion, right? नवाज, अभी ये जो कोर्स चल रहा है वो फ्री है. अगस्त में एक जावा पे आएगा, यू नो, जावा में यू कैन बी देयर, राइट? So Rohit Pawar, Rohit, there is, you know, I told you that you cannot match for loop from Java to Python because ये लूप अलग है, दैट इज कॉल्ड एज फॉर ईच लूप. लेकिन अगर तुमने जावा में देखा हो तो जावा हैज अ सेपरेट लूप, राइट? यू नो you have a for each loop as well in Java. Java में दो लूप होते हैं, for loop भी होता है, for each loop भी होता है, रोहित, राइट? No, Vijay, no, not there, right? So Pradeep Sharma saying, sir, please make some course on web application using Python also. We are trying to float a course, Pradeep. I think that will take some time, but probably in you know, August, probably in September, you will get a, you know, a course on that. Yeah, Divya Rani, it includes your AI ML class certificate as well. That's the registration fee, and registration fee also includes the certificate as well, right? So guys, कल फिर मिलेंगे. कल मिलेंगे वापस से 4 बजे. We'll meet at 4 p.m. tomorrow, and tomorrow we are going to discuss a couple of inbuilt data structure, and the primary data structure that is heavily used in data science or machine learning projects, right? You know, uh, you know, list and all that. Yeah, Vinod, that's okay. That's fine. Yeah, thank you, Nawaz. Updesh, the timings are same, 4 to 6 only. The time रहेगा 4 to 6 का ही रहेगा every day, Monday to Saturday, right? Amra, you will get your certificate on Monday. Monday को मिलेंगे. जब ये प्रोग्राम कंप्लीट हो जाए तब ये सबको एक साथ ही मिल जाएगा. You will get by Monday. Akshay, Amra. Ayushi Sharma, did I answer your question? I think you were looking for this. Okay. Ayushi saying, will you teach about this concept that for each I in range? I'll take up that, Ayushi. Basically, that range is a method that generates a list, right? So range क्या करता है? See this, Ayushi. Range, I say, let's say, मैंने start किया 1 से और stop किया 10 से. See this, Ayushi. If I run this, as of now, you will see, this is the range basically. एक काम कर सकते हैं, इसको typecast करके देखते हैं list में क्या आता है. So let's typecast it. So can you see, Ayushi? इसने हमें list दिया 1 to 9. So guys, this is the start and this is the end. End is never included, so it will go only 1 to 9. Or basically, if this is a list, we can print a single item using a for loop. तो कैसे कर सकते हैं? मान लीजिए मैं इसको list 1 कर दूं. This is list 1 is equal to this. ये हो गया मेरी list 1. And what I do now, for each number in list 1, let's say, right? And I say print number. ऐसा कर सकते हैं ना? We can do this. So what happens in this case? It will print 1 by 1. And now you can see what is the list 1. So list 1 is this. So I can call this as well. So मैं यहाँ पे replace कर सकता हूँ इसको. I can replace this part. So now you can see again the output remains same, and I can remove this part. ये ज़रूरत ही नहीं है मुझे. I've clubbed everything. And even this is not required. अब typecast की भी ज़रूरत नहीं. It will take the value 1 by 1 from that range, and it will print. Ayushi. There is, you can have many things in, Python, right? So the logic is very simple, Ayushi. You think of, anything, and there is a library for it. तुम कुछ भी सोच लो कि क्या मैं ये कर सकती हूँ. There is a library for it. That's it, right? तो हर चीज के लिए, if you are trying to handle complex data type as well, there are for that as well, right? Nawaz Sharif, that only happens if you join a course which is, let's say, minimum 1 month or 2 months long, right? Short courses में वो नहीं है, right? That's there. अभी थोड़े दिनों में फ्लोट करेंगे नवाज, फिर तुम रजिस्टर कर सकते हो, ठीक है? Okay guys, now we are going to close it for today. It's 6 p.m. now, and we'll see you tomorrow at 4 p.m.
Good day, guys. Bye bye. See you. Take care.